Okay, so we talked about book number 4 in Troy Denning's Dark Sun series, or Dark Sunset series, the Prism Pentad. We'll be talking about book number 5, the Cerulean Storm, and I'm going to go ahead and just say the rating. So the other one I think was like a 6. I'm going to say this one's like a 6.5. Remember, my new scale that I'm trying to go by is 10 means it's perfect with no errors, and like a 1 means it's garbage and nobody should read it. So 5 is normal. The books are definitely above average. They're just enjoyable. The characters are great. In this one, I've got to say the fighting's on point. When it gets down to the actual, like, you know, the throwing blows, oh yeah, it's great. So I'm gonna take a seat and we're gonna get into the back matter. Go from there. Only Rajat, the first sorcerer imprisoned beyond space and time, is capable of returning Athos to its verdant splendor. When Tithian of Tyr leads an army of freed slaves on a quest to release the ancient sorcerer, it falls to Ricus, Sadira, and Neva to conquer their own forgotten passions. In an effort to uncover the truth, does Tithian seek to restore the world or claim it as his own? Now, spoilers. I'm going to go ahead and say that now. If you don't want spoilers, stop watching, because this is going to be full of spoilers. Aegis died in book number 4, and this one, pretty early on, they're supposed to go meet Aegis because they think he has the Dark Lens, but it's actually Tithian telling them, come and meet me here. Tithian, in book 4, when he gets the lens, he tricks the two Guardians to go and meet Neva's child, who, you know, he's a mole, and so he's technically, you know, a dwarven child, technically. So he kind of fools them into thinking that he was sent to tell them that the new king has been born, and, you know, his eyes glow red with the sun and all this stuff, and hands them, and, you know, when they tell him, well, how? You know, how do you know this? And he's like, I do, I'm the messenger. And he hands them the crown which he stole when he had his people in book 4 raiding villages for slaves. He stole that and the belt of rank. So he uses that to, you know, lead them on their little hunt to, you know, inspire the this new dwarven king to kill Boris, which there's nothing that says that, but he was able to fool them. I will say that was an issue that I had with it, because the Guardians are not fools, you know, so I found that kind of odd. Maybe they could argue that their isolation and, you know, their elongated lifespan for such a long time has driven them mad. You know, it could be, you know, I mean, there's such a long lifespan as far as dwarves go, near the Dark Lens has driven them mad, and it was easier to manipulate them. That could be it. But in this one, they're going off to go meet Aegis, and they find out he's dead pretty early on. Now, Tithian does have a motive. His motive, and like I said, Tithian is a very complicated villain. Or he was. Book 4, at the end, he fully embraces villainy. I mean, he's a baddie all the way through now. With Aegis gone, his only weakness, he is full on evil. So he he wants to kill the dragon, which you think is a good thing, but it's not. When the dragon's dead, Rajat can rise, because there's nothing to hold him there. Now, when Rajat rises, it's supposed to be the end of everything, except for halflings. Halflings will stay, because they were the first race all of the races spawn from, including dwarves, which spawn giants. It's a whole thing. I'll get on that in a second. Now, the fighting in this, I think, is top-notch. This book is a thumper, and being that this book I have here has never been opened, because I'm a collector, and if I get a brand new book, which this is brand new, there's no creases, there's no dents, there's literally nothing wrong with this book, I'm not going to open it. So I bought it on Audible as well, which I've done with a couple other books that are older, like my BattleTech books that already have damage and I don't want to damage them any further. You know, I'll find them online to read or Audible. Now, I gotta say, Ray Porter, God, you gotta check him out just because Ray Porter telling the story. You have to. In fact, it makes me want to get all the way from the first one in the series up just so I can hear his voice in everybody's role. And so I kind of listened to this one and ate this one up in one day. And, you know, with my job, I prefer to read a book, yes. But with my job, I have a lot of opportunities to listen to books while I'm doing everything. And especially at the station. So I'll just, you know, checking the fire trucks and have a, you know, thing in my ear while I'm doing it all. And I gotta say, you know, I wanted more. I wanted him to keep hitting me with more and more. By the time it was, you know, time to hit the racks, I was done with it. And I was like, that was great. That was a great way to end it, too. Man, they ended it on point. So, the Sorcerer Kings show up, right? And the Sorcerer Kings show up siding with the dragon because they're like, hey, if Boris dies, Rajat comes back and everything that we've done to hold him down will be for naught. His evil ass will come out and torture all of us and stomp us into the dirt for what we did to him. Because they were usurpers. They rose up when they found out that Rajat brought them into being and said, you're the slayer of gnomes, you're the slayer of dwarves, you're the slayer of these, because he wanted his perfect race, the first race, to be the last one alive, so he can rebirth Athos and like it was before, make it green and watery again. And he has the power to do that, which is fucking crazy. That's like godhood power. And so they were usurpers. Because of that, they rose up and mutinied on him and imprisoned him. And with Boris gone, if he were to die, then he's free to come back and kick some ass. So the fight with Boris was really good. I've got to say, it was, you know, Boris wasn't holding blows. People die, and this is the final, you know, chapter. So all of your characters are coming together. So let's hope that, you know, one of your favorites don't die here, because the chance is high that they're gonna get fucked up. And because they're also fighting the Sorcerer Kings. Now, this is what I will say. They kick the shit out of the Sorcerer Kings. They let them have it. And they drop some of the Sorcerer Kings pretty quick. And which makes even them hesitant. Like, they realize, like, okay, well, they're juiced up from their adventurers. And they got powerful items and stuff back in them now as well, and magics. So, I mean, it's some good stuff. Now, I will say they do kill Boris. I love the way they kill him. They go through, Boris lights up this big portal and this archway and goes through it to go to this big, like, wasteland, pretty much, which is where they have their fight, which is a great idea for, like, a goddish dragon like Boris. I mean, the dragon Boris is, like, up there, like I said before, with, like, Tiamat and stuff like that. He is a deity, pretty much. People, they would give him sacrifices so he doesn't destroy their towns. Thousands of slaves, they were just, oh, we don't have slaves? Take them, you know, please, don't kill us all. He was that powerful. So they finally kill him. They finally kill the dragon Boris. And it is not easy one fight. And guess what happens? Tithian, being the traitor he is, and his own usurper, he goes to wake up Rajat. And he does. And I am so happy to say that Rajat, though the payoff to see him is so worth it. Now, he does kind of shape in another series, but it's not like this. Like, he has a body. He is 2 times the height of a normal giant. That's fucking huge. The Dark Sun giants are huge, massive. Like, they are walking through the Sea of Silt massive. He's 2 times their height. He is pulling clouds down for his body. Like, his body's made out of clouds. It's crazy. And it's so unique because, like, out of his hand is flowing water, and everything that he touches and all this stuff is like blooming green grass, and trees are just sprouting up everywhere. and he's bringing Athos back alive. Like that. But to do it, he's going to destroy pretty much everybody. So that's the dilemma here, is ethically you're going to say, okay, he's going to revive the planet, which for the long term is a good thing. But to do it, he's going to destroy pretty much everybody, because the halflings are not a huge race, not like the humans and all the other races like elves and dwarves. There are a lot of halflings, but they're outnumbered by everyone else. And that means he's pretty much destroying just about everybody. Just so he brings it back to the way it was before, when Athos was green and blue. And, oh, the sky clears up too. That's one cool thing to think about too. This final fight with Rajat, right? And they're fighting in water and rapids and all this stuff. Trees are being pushed around, and they're throwing up shields of magic. And they're still fighting the Sorcerer Kings, even though like the Sorcerer Kings are even fighting Rajat, and they're fighting Rajat, and they're trying to figure out how to beat him. Oh, and Tithian's still being his dick self, and you know, he gets the allegiance of Rajat, but Rajat pretty much is like, oh, I'll get to you when I get a chance. You know, move along, little fly, and you know, be loyal, you will die, kind of thing. And it's really good. I mean, I enjoy this one so much, especially the way Tithian goes out is so satisfying. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, I don't want to say it because it'll ruin that, but he goes out in a good way that you're kind of like, he deserved it. And when they handle Rajat, it's unique. It's all unique how they're doing everything. The character concept here is outstanding, you know? Because it's not easy to come up with something as unique and creative as the template that they used for this last book. They could have ended it on a low note, because it's 5 books, and I've seen series end on the 9th book half-assed, like it was almost like the author was just tired of writing, you know. And I don't like that. I really like this because he wanted to wrap things up. He was trying to cover plot holes and stuff like that, and you know, and he was doing a good job about it. Some of the Sorcerer Kings, here's an example. There's a reason why some of them can get hurt a certain way and some can't. There's all these things that if you didn't pick up before, they kind of, you know, point them out now. And you'll be like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. I remember that. So that's why he didn't get hurt. That's why, you know, that worked. And you're like, it all makes sense. You know, it ties it together. And sure, there's still plot holes. There's always going to be plot holes. It's almost impossible to write a book or anything and completely cover all bases. Because, you know, just like real life, there's plot holes. Isn't that weird to think about? So you can't really hold it against a book like this to say, you know, well, it could have went this way, or why did that happen when he could have just done this? You know, well, why did I walk across the street instead of walking on the path? You know, maybe just because I wanted to walk across the street and jaywalk and try to get a ticket. You know, sometimes people do things that don't make sense. In this book, some things happen that just don't make sense. But you got to think, if they're being realistic, people don't make the best decisions all the time. Some people could get their life cost that way in this book, and it kind of sucks. But I gotta say, guys, you have to read it. Sure, it might be a 6.5, and it's not your perfect 10, but what is a perfect 10 nowadays? I know some books that I would say is a perfect 10, but some other people wouldn't, and that's completely fine. You know, even everything I'm saying now is opinion-based, sure, but I would say check it out, and I hope for some people out there that's enough for them to pick up the book and check it out. Maybe even on Audible and listen to Ray Porter's chocolate voice, Velvet. So, that's going to be it for now, guys. You know, subscribe, like if you want to. I'm not going to put out videos as often, at least not until I get everything set up. I need a new camera. This camera is just kind of something that I was able to find that I've had for a while, so it's out of date, even though it's a nice camera. I don't know, guys. I'll see you all around. I hope everybody stays safe. Later.